There we go. So we have another SunCat Byte on P4. This is a live SunCat Byte, so we do have some people in office hours that can ask questions as we go. So if we look at P4, before we actually start looking at some of the code, it's basically a credit card validation program, and you're going to use functions and then CC type to get this done. And notice that we actually give you the function prototypes in the program here and give you a description of what they do. So you can literally take this and put it directly into your .h for the program. So what you're going to want to do, and also it tells you to do 3 files: driver.cpp, functions.h, and this should be functions.cpp. So there's a typo there, obviously. Functions.cpp there. So first thing you want to do is create those 3 files. So to create that header file, that .h, you're going to come in header files. You're going to say new item, and you're going to create a .h. And we're going to call it functions.h. Hey Simon, how you doing? We're going over P4 now in a SunCat Byte recording. So if you have any questions, let me know. So we create that functions.h per the spec. Okay, so now we have functions.h there. Functions.h, click add. Oh, great. Now maybe I should actually do that. Oh, share application, screen 2, share. I was recording, but I wasn't sharing. Okay, there. So now we just created functions.h. So by right-clicking here, going to add, new item, header file, we created and we named it functions.h here. So that's how we have functions.h there. Here's the prototypes that are going to go into functions.h, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to create the other 2 files, which are function or driver.cpp, that should be driver, and functions.cpp there. So come in, add, say new item, make it a CPP file, and call it driver.cpp. Come in again, add, new item. This one will be functions.cpp. All right. So now, when you're doing multi-file programs, and there is a SunCat Byte that's up for this now, or that's been loaded for this. The prototypes go in your .h. Driver is where you have main, and that's where you have your function calls. And then your definitions will go in this other CPP file, which is functions.cpp. In driver.cpp, you have to have an include statement to include your .h here. But first things first, you can use this pragma once statement, or you can use what's called an include guard inside of your .h. So we're going to use what's called an include guard. And it's going to basically, it's going to look like this. You're going to have these statements first. And all this does is keep someone from including the same code twice. So you're going to have these statements. This isn't necessary in this program. You don't have to have an include guard, but I'm going to put it in anyway. And then we're going to have all of our function prototypes, which were given to us in the spec. So that's what our function prototypes are going to look like. And then we're going to have the end here. Yeah, so then you'll always include your name, email address on every file. So then, sure. So here you'll have a comment at the top that is going to be and this is functions.h. So if I leave that out in these other 2, well, let's just go and do it right away. And this file is driver.cpp. And then this one is there. All right, so this is literally going to be what your function.h should look like this in your program, because these were given to you here, right? Those are the functions. All right, so your driver is where main is where you have the function calls. So if you look at the driver, you have your header. You need to include IOStream, and here is where you include functions.h. So that statement is there because you're including this file so that the prototypes are seen before, you have the calls. Then you're going to have int main. Okay. And then here, your first call is just going to be write header. You're going to write your course header. Then you're going to declare your variables. I'm not going to actually give you the variables here. Then you're going to have a do while loop. And this is your do another loop. So while, you're going to have some condition in here. I'm not going to give you that either, but you're going to have something in here. Okay, then more general format, you're gonna have them enter a credit card number. Number there. Then you're gonna check that the number was properly input as requested here. And here you're going to say if, and inside of here it's going to be some kind of code that represents input is valid. You're not going to actually put this in here. There's going to be a variable that represents whether this input is valid. That's what you're going to do there. Okay? So if input is valid, you're going to have an else statement if it's not. So if their input is valid, then you're going to come in and you're going to do another check inside of here. To check the validity. And in this check, I'll give you a hint here, you're going to use the isValid function. And then based on that, you have another if, checking some condition. And then an else. All right, so after this, where's the end of our while there? And then here, you're going to ask the user if they want to enter another number. There. And then here, you're going to have a goodbye message. You're going to return 0. And main ends all the way over here. So this is a general format for main, or for driver.cpp. You basically need to fill it in with some function calls, with some variables, and with some output statements. That. And then simply functions.cpp, you are just going to take the functions that were given to you and you're going to write their definitions inside of there. So Let me see what did I include? I don't think so. So inside of here, all that I used was, oops, IOStream. And using namespace standard, and then just my function definitions here. And I'm not going to give you the function definitions, but there's a what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 function definitions, right? And that should coincide with the 7 prototypes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do we have any questions? No questions? All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop that recording then.